This week marks 5 years since the nation woke up to the chilling images of an oceanfront condo building collapsing in South Florida in the middle of the night. The collapse of the Champlain Towers South in Surfside killed 98 people as they slept in their beds. And 5 years later, federal investigators are now releasing their technical findings about what likely caused this disaster. You know what their main conclusion is? Structural failures in the building began about 3 weeks before the collapse. As they show in these graphics that we're going to put up here right here, the National Institute of Standards and Technology determined that the collapse was likely triggered by column failures between the garage and the pool deck, and that resulted in weight being redistributed to the other concrete slabs where the columns weren't strong enough to support the weight. Now, investigators saying that process happened over a few weeks, and it led ultimately to the 1 a.m. collapse on June 24th, 2021. The report also ruled out other causes: storm surge impacts, sinkholes, roofing project overloads. But now you have to think about it. The timing of this report's release, exactly 5 years after the tragedy, it can't be easy for the victims' families. And that's what I want to talk about right now. Joining me, a Miami man who lost his mother and grandmother on that night, Pablo Rodriguez. Thank you so much for coming on. I watched your interview from 5 years ago when your family was missing, and how incredibly brave you were to just come on and share your story and talk about your mother and grandmother. It was incredible to watch. 5 years have gone by. How are you doing this week?
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks for having me, and thanks for asking. The report was like a gut punch. So it's every year it's rough around this time. After reading the report, honestly, the hardest part was not even the report itself; it was just the conclusion, as you said, that it had been happening for weeks. So it could have happened at any moment, and then from there, my mind just starts immediately wandering, and it's like, well, had it happened a day later, they wouldn't have been there. And then where I really started going down is a dark spiral was, if it happened the following week, it was getting closer to 4th of July. It would have been packed with people, families. My son for sure would have been there. We would have probably been there. And that one sent me down a dark spiral for a little bit of time there.
It's incredibly scary and difficult to be thinking about that. Yeah, I understand you were helping with this investigation, you were part of this investigation. The one thing I'm not clear about, and maybe you can clear up about it, is I see this idea that it was breaking down, corrosion 3 weeks before. Was there any way to detect it? Did anybody notice there were problems, cracks in the weeks leading up to this? Is that come out?
I don't know if it's officially come out. I can tell you from just experience, having been there before, and from the comments my mother made as well, and the residents knew the building showed cracks, especially around the pool area. Everybody knew it was just constantly cracking. They fix it, and it would start cracking again. The garage was another area that it was just constantly water flowing in. The slabs were not, the pillars were not upheld. They would just be constantly cracking. They fix it, they painted, paint would chip off, it would just start over again. So I don't know. I do know that, and this I'll never forget because it was the last conversation I had with my mother. So the night before, that was the reason she stayed an extra day, was she was so tired because she woke up in the middle of the night hearing what she described as creaking noises from within the walls. Obviously, we didn't anticipate this would happen. Nobody thought this would happen. So we didn't know what it was, but that it woke her up in the middle of the night. She didn't sleep. She was so tired the next day that they decided just to spend an extra day there instead of coming back to my house. And then this happened afterwards. So yes, there was noises. There were creaks. Just the mindset. Nobody anticipated this would happen. So nobody paid as much attention as it should have.
And I was reading this is from the beginning. There were structural defects from how it was built. It wasn't even designed based on the original plan. Look, you've been very vocal. You've been advocating for accountability in this. You have been trying to seek reforms to prevent something like this from happening in the future. Can you tell us a little bit more about that work?
Sure. It's something to try to do, try to make sense out of this, prevent it from happening again. Reforms have been made here in South Florida and in Florida in general. They've now made more stringent inspections, more often. Before it was a 40-year inspection, and that was it. You didn't have to look at the building again for another 40 years. Now they're making them more regular. That's led to financial problems for some of these older buildings that need substantial work because they're not in good condition. So it's raised some additional problems, but the structural aspects of it are needed. I think another area where reform is still needed that it hasn't really been addressed fully. It's starting to get talked about at least, but it hasn't been fully addressed is with the condo boards themselves. Because down here they run as fiefdoms. They have complete control over their building. They have full management. There's not really anything you can do to go up against them. So if you have a good condo board, your building usually is maintained, it's upkept, but that's not always the case. It's people involved, and so there needs to be some oversight on that, some major reform in that area as well.
By the way, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's a plan to develop on that property where the towers were this new luxury building, as opposed to, I don't know, a memorial site or not creating another building right where this happened. Can you tell us more about that? I mean, what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, so it's the, I forget the name of the developer that bought it, but yeah, they bought the building, the land, and they're going to build luxurious apartments there. I think they're all multi-million-dollar apartments. Honestly, being from South Florida my whole life, it's not surprising. It's prime real estate here. That takes precedence over pretty much everything. So it's not surprising. It's not unexpected. I know they're contributing towards a permanent memorial that'll be done at some point. It's, unfortunately, it is what it is. It's just there's no way that they're going to let that land not be built on.
Did you object to it? Did you object to that?
I was not in favor of it. I'm realistic. I'm an estate planning attorney. I'm practical.
Hello, want to have you back here on this. As we're talking about them, we're looking at the images of it. By the way, one thing I didn't ask you is, do you know why it took 5 years for there to be a report?
That I don't know. I've worked with the investigators. I know a lot of the family members have over the years. They've come back with questions. They've asked us about floor plans, our experiences, what we remembered. So I know they've been working on it. From my understanding is there was so much rubble that they were trying to reconstruct and all these different theories that's what took so long. The timing of it was, caught us off guard.
I know, at a timing of all times for this to happen. Before I let you go, what should people remember about your mom, about your grandmother? Because they weren't just victims in this. This was your family. What do you want people to know?
Yeah, they were full of life. They were. My grandmother was in her 80s. She went ziplining in Costa Rica. She would be out here driving. She was working. She lived by herself. She traveled to Europe every summer. My mom was a force of nature. She was kind, strong, Hispanic mother. We had a very close relationship, and it's been really tough on me. It's been really tough on my son. They were here every single weekend. It's just common down here. So we had a very close relationship, and it's 5 years. I still miss her. Still miss them every day. My grandma.
Yeah, unfortunately, the signal's getting cut out. Pablo, I hear you. That pain never goes away. But I just want to tell you, you're really a remarkable man. I said it before, I'll say it again. Watching your interview from 5 years ago is really something to see. And, seeing the man that you are here today and hearing about your family and hearing about the impact that your mom and your grandma had on you, it shows, it resonates. And I know that they would be very proud of you right now, and it's a really beautiful thing to see. And by the way, sometimes this story, I think you even said in your prior interview that the news cycle changes, but you want to keep this part of the conversation. And I think that was an important point you made.
That was a big important part, and that was kind of what drove me to do the interviews afterwards, because it's unfortunate that every day there's something new happening and a new tragedy, new horrible situation. But if you don't put yourself out there and try to keep it in the news cycle, it just goes away. And so that was one of the big things I tried to do in the meantime.
Well, I'm happy we had an opportunity to talk, and I'm glad we had an opportunity to explain what this report says. Pablo Rodriguez, thank you so much. Wishing you and your family all the best.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.